Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. Whatever is left when you die is already here now. So it's what is always there. It's our real nature, at least the nature of common to all living beings. So what's the problem? The problem is the full power we give in trusting the mind. Because you see, from any experience, let it be worldly, we identify with the translations of the mind. Oh, I live this. And when it is experiences due to the search to be enlightened about what is, the mind continues its habit and it will always comment, oh no, I am in oneness, oh I am full light, oh I am emptiness. And that has more power, it looks like, than the fact to have been so, but not only the quality expressed by the limited mind. So it's all about the mind again. To trust this mind is madness. Is at least the opposite of wisdom. Once you know that, then what's wrong? Why one searches? He cannot search to have a mind more better or more enlightened and all that. It's a wrong idea. Because that's not what is left when you left the search or when you die. Anything more clear you want, you ask. Anything you have your own self, please ask. You can always make me talk if you like. If I say that, it's because I see that there is also a danger to say, as I always say, I am that already, I am that itself. Because then it's like presenting a kind of state or something else or whatever, you see. When they mean I am that, which is always written by a big T, it's what I say, it's what is left when you don't depend on your mind. So it's already there, it's not something that has to be attained, or you already know that, but unconsciously everybody feels I have to attain that. So Anyway, any question you ask. Because it's easy. Oh, I'm talkative. I didn't take your chai. Because yeah, because there is a kind of mystic. I am that. It's not about mystic. It's there, mysticism or not. Now, if you like to be a mystic, it's your freedom. But not everybody wants so. Yes. Mike, please.
Yeah, or
No, we do.
Yeah. Wait. Some people talk about not being the mind that is the most important thing. This is not me, just my observations.
Not being the mind.
And other people talk about being in the heart is most important. I don't think it really matters.
So what matters?
No mind or stay in the heart. The people that say heart say then a natural fallout is that the mind goes away. The people that say forget the mind say natural fallout is that you find your heart.
Yeah. But anyway, why to fall anywhere?
No idea.
We don't need.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Don't do.
That's what I say, you see, the mind at once owns an experience which was not an experience when it was lived, but it becomes an experience while owning it by the mind, telling it's not the mind, it's in the heart, and so on. And then we follow those instructions, and then we land somewhere, and then we are in trouble. I think we have not to touch what is. Yet fully I see that it's because we trust the mind that we are in trouble. It's all, actually, that's all what I can say. Yeah.
Hi, where to start? It's just the point where the mind really surrenders because he cannot figure it out. Is this point where there is some fear and then there is an escape in trying it differently or something.
Yeah, but you see that.
I see this, yeah.
Whatever you see, it's an imagination.
So it doesn't mean that it has to be an experience of surrender. No, so this is what it
That is surrender. What you see is a pure imagination. Where are you left? Tell me.
some sort of seeking is left then. Still, what is it when...
But no, because what is it is you said it. In other words, what it's the way for the mind to own. So you will not follow that also.
Yes, no, I see, yes.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good man.
There's something, I think it's a concept, I have to explain it, of course. This thing with things are happening only because they're happening.
Yeah.
And of course sometimes I think that things are happening to me when I'm identified with this.
Yeah, sure.
And there is something what don't want to, that one thinks that there is a meaning in it for me, that I have to understand sometimes things in the moment what comes to me, or that it appear, or I come from...
Why not? All that is in the movie. In the movie, you will, of course, I mean, the person likes to understand what's going on. It doesn't mean that he puts his what is into question.
But sometimes there are situations, it's like only bullshit, like I drive in the wrong direction, or this is many things like this are happening, and then the mind tries to understand something in it,
Yeah.
and then yesterday I was asking to whom is this happening now, and this felt much better because I don't want to understand it.
Yeah, it helps much better to not to be lost in over digging, analyzing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But then there is often, this is only happening also for no reason somehow.
If you are in the world of happenings, there are reasons.
Okay.
Now it's your choice. You see.
Then no reason.
If you want peace,
Thank you.
you see, in this world of happenings, nothing happens also for nothing. It had to happen to you. If you want, you are free. You want to give a meaning? Good luck, because it never ends. You just stop there. Why not? It really depends what one wants this life. To understand better this manifestation, or finally to be at peace and let it be. Yes. Viviane, you want?
It's just an observation I had. Yeah. You say it's already here. When we die, what will be there is already now.
Yeah?
And I just realized that my mind still
Yeah.
wants to discover.
To discover it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the mind.
That is the pride of the mind.
Yeah. This is just what I was.
Yeah, great, it's clear. Yeah. The pride of the mind, because you see, he makes the manifestation after all. He is the king in this manifestation. But here, when he has to understand that it comes from, I cannot name it. It's a product of something else, which is already here. Nice to see that. But that's why also the mind generally, unless he has been taken by surprise suddenly, as it happens to a few, otherwise he will try everything to discover it, to know what it is, to fulfill that curiosity. And it's only when, it's not always like that, but generally it's like when one has really done what he can and he always fails, that there is a giving up, a natural giving up. Which is sometimes called surrender. Which is also just to wake up to what is already there, with the natural knowledge that the rest is a manifestation, is the movie. Viviane? Non. En français? Tu peux traduire? Tu peux traduire? Je sais pas. Ah, mais alors tu donnes le micro.
Au début que je t'ai rencontré.
At the beginning I met you,
Et que tu as comparé le mind à un film.
that you compared the mind to a movie.
Ça m'a beaucoup aidé.
It has helped me a lot
Parce que je voyais, je pouvais, j'arrivais à me dire
ce qui se passe, voilà, c'est un film, c'est pas vrai.
Mhm.
Because what's happening is just a movie.
Mais depuis un certain temps,
And since a little time,
j'ai l'impression que
I have the feeling
mon mental est devenu très 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 fort.
My mind is getting more and stronger and stronger.
my mind getting stronger.
Incroyable.
Mm. Mm. Mais tu le vois. Tu le vois maintenant. Avant, tu ne le voyais pas.
You see it. Before you couldn't see it.
Avant le film,
Oui, oui.
tu ne le voyais pas. Maintenant, tu le vois.
Now you see it before the movie. Before it was movie. Now you see it.
Parce que de voir le mental, c'est voir le film.
Because to see the mind is like to see the movie.
Mais j'ai l'impression que mon mental, il m'entraîne de plus en plus fort.
Oui, mais tu le vois.
But I have
J'insiste. Tu le vois.
I have the
Donc-
feeling that my mind is getting stronger and stronger.
Donc, tu vois le film où le mental devient très très fort. Tu le vois comme avant. Ça a changé de chapitre, c'est tout.
It has changed everything. Now you can see it. You see it.
Alors, ce que tu cherches vraiment, ce que tu es, c'est celui qui voit.
Who you are is who you are. The one who sees.
C'est du one who sees. Il n'y a jamais eu de promesse que le film sera changé.
There was never a promise that the movie will change.
Hmm? Tu as entendu ça? Ça arrive. Tu ne te perds jamais, que le mental soit faible ou fort.
You never get lost, whatever, if the mind is not strong or not.
Tu ne perds jamais ce qui est.
You never lose what it is.
Ce qu'il y a, c'est que la recherche, maybe in English now, tu comprends? The thing is that generally the search is to, otherwise it looks absurd, but the search is to be better, more happy in this life. Of course, it's human. But you see, the satsang is quite rudeless, because it doesn't give that golden carrot. But what is so precious is that in the end you are at peace, not to search, even though the person may still react strongly or less strongly according to circumstances. But don't worry, life goes on changing. It's not always dark and painful. Expectations makes one suffer. Les attentes, ça fait souffrir in this life. So at least learn that worldly wisdom. In the villages in ancient times, there's no more villages nearly, so there was always a man or a woman known as the wise guys there. There was always, he was worldly wise. He lived enough to have a good eye. Yes, yes. Satsang. This can come also when you realize yourself, sometimes. But satsang throws you beyond the fact to be a wise man or a wise woman. Yeah.
I was contemplating this instruction that you gave in the beginning, don't land on your mind or
Yeah.
don't be interested in your mind.
Yeah.
And it seems to imply that there is somebody who has this choice.
Yeah.
And then it raises also the question that am I really following this instruction properly, or do I really understand it properly? Because like in satsang, the mind is naturally quiet and there is nothing much going on,
Yeah.
but as life goes on,
Yeah.
there is, I guess for the mind to think, it's also the part of a natural functioning, which is not a problem
Yeah.
by itself.
Yeah.
But where then is the difference between not being interested in it and being interested?
You don't have that question anymore. That question drops. So the search drops. You know, if you have seen clear like that rope is not a snake, let's take that example. Even if the snake appears because of dawn, light, and so on. I mean, it looks like a snake. Okay, you will react as if it was a snake, and then suddenly stop naturally and you laugh. Or you don't laugh, but just naturally you go back, which is wrong because you never left, but let's say you go back to where you never left. So that is the difference. So tell me now what is left. Which other question is coming from here?
Just the thought again is like that is the case with everybody, like all the human beings.
Oh, you mean in the manifestation will be different for everybody. The manifestation will be lived, I mean, differently with everybody. As I already said, let's take classic, unquestionable examples. Okay, Ramana Maharishi looked like much less involved, except when it was in buildings and in the kitchen. But let's be kind. Apart from that, he looked much more, let's say, at peace. Some say absorbed, but doesn't mean much too. In himself. Huh? The Buddhas is represented also this way. In his manifestation, he looks like he's a Buddha. He's not involved in anything. Who knows? Because he had many monks. That's, of course, erased with the history. Papaji with the history, it will be also erased. He must have always been absorbed, of course, once he knows himself, but in the manifestation, not much was going on, which is not true. So everybody, according to his sattvic nature, do you understand sattvic? Let's say, what could we say? Pure. I mean, relatively pure. Let's say more light character, more joyful, more whatever. They will react in their own life differently than the Rajasic, which are always energetic, and the Tamasic. But you know, in the end, if they realized, is it important? No. Did I answer? But not convincing.
Yeah,
I answer, but you are not convinced. So what? Tell me another question. Let's see. Now tell me, there is this ideal that in this manifestation, one would be completely absorbed from morning to night, means there is no more morning and nights. This is the ideal the mind makes, which is true in a way, because the one who realized, it doesn't search, so, what to say? But it is not like the mind represents that. That is true. The mind represents, okay, whatever happens. So there was another question. Tell me.
No, I don't know if there is more questions. I was just the observation I pointed at earlier was also that normal people, not like Ramana, but like anybody who is not
Okay.
even heard of satsang,
Okay.
the way that it seems to be that there are moments of being absorbed in the thinking of the mind, and then it stops, and then there may be a moment of silence, and then something else.
You mean the normal people?
Yeah.
You remember how you were normal before?
I'm not sure. But
Yes.
the way it appears now is very normal. Like,
It's very normal, but now I ask you, and be sincere with yourself, you don't need with me. Are you still searching or not? I am kind enough, I raised the question which shows there is some search. But now, let's say it is solved. Are you still searching or not? And it makes the whole difference. I remember, I will tell you about me. I also knew, especially that I love beauty and whatnot, and depth and so on. I also knew beautiful moments. And yet I was completely despaired because even in the pleasures, or in the non-pleasures that is more natural, I was totally unsatisfied. And I could not tell why, even though there was a lot of beautiful life. So, everybody can know that, sure. But if I see with myself and I observe with many too, there is something there, maybe not present all the time, but there is a deep unsatisfaction or something. While now one looks very normal, he went back to the market. You know that Zen story? The seeker is on the bull, goes in the bush to meditate, and then, oh, I miss one thing. Anyway, he comes back with the bull after meditation, goes back to the market. So he's totally normal. But the anxiety or the deep unsatisfaction left completely. So, if that is still there, it means there is still a shade of search. That's all I can say.
yeah. Mm. It doesn't seem to be that there is a strong unsatisfaction, but
Okay.
also
A longing.
like I have at least some memory of moments, like some kind of a glimpse when there is a complete satisfaction, and which
Yes.
it doesn't seem to be the flavor in this moment.
Let's say that in the manifestation you may not have the flavor of this complete satisfaction, but because you are, let's say, busy with something, when that something goes, you feel that it's lacking, something is lacking. It looks like it, otherwise you would not ask. I just tried to describe the difference in the absolutely non-difference in appearance. I can tell that only, this is my experience. I can be completely involved in circumstances, in the maximum of my fury and whatnot. It leaves you, of course, it's the nature of things. Nothing can stir up what's real. I don't know what to say, to describe more. But you see, if you have, I think, and it is very natural, because it's shocking when you see it's not like that, this concept that what we project, you see, on gurus, in whom we trust, what we project in the history of all those lineage of wise ones, it's a projection of what the mind can conceive as wisdom, as ideal. You agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that concept has to go in order that you are what you projected. And it will not look like what the mind conceived ever. That's all. And if you don't do that, it's because you doubt. Can I trust that indication? Some others speak differently, so maybe they are more right. This I have to leave up to you.
Yeah,
I cannot solve that. Yeah.
So now it looks like this. That's where I'm left.
Yeah.
It always looks like this.
And we love it. And who knows? Things goes on changing too in this manifestation. So don't fix also yourself. No, I look like this. Hmm?
Yeah, it's always
Okay.
changing. So, conclusion is to forget my initial question of
Yes.
instruction of nothing.
Forget if you understood that it's very true. Or if you trust. Yeah. You see, one idea will never do. And that's why it is said, it's funny to say, but let's be funny also, is uncompromising. It's uncompromising. It will not leave you in peace if you keep one idea. Understand?
It's just I'm observing how these instructions of being uncompromising, it already creates an idea of
Yes.
like something to
Yes.
do.
But that's what I say, you see. I tell you that for a split second you may not have been aware of. That was it. The mind will always come back with some comments. It's up to you now don't ask who is up to. It's up to you now. I have to speak like that. To believe in your mind or not. Because the mind will always reappear. You see, the self is never naked. It's always with its manifestation. So the mind will come back, and as he was not there, he knows, he has the magic also to interpret things and bring you in something again. That's what I was telling in the beginning. He has the so-called power to own everything. Don't go there. At least, as long as you are totally, naturally confident that the mind is not a problem anymore. What was your ideal before you came? You search in your, when you search, what was your ideal?
I don't know, I think there were many ideas.
No, ideal means what you wanted to be like whom? Nothing.
Maybe Ramana has been the constant image of like, the most civilizing.
No, you have to forget Ramana. Otherwise, you will always be a disciple of. Be yourself. If you want an image, that is the beautiful significance of the devotee of Ramana prostrating at his feet. I'm so grateful. Let me be free. Birthright.
sometimes I feel so detached that what comes up is I feel guilty about it. I feel guilty to not care. And so the mind is making a judgment about what I should feel, what I shouldn't feel, etc. And I come to a point, it goes, it comes and goes, so it's the mind, okay. I come I wanted to say, I come to a point where I don't know what's right, what's wrong.
Mm.
And I'm totally lost.
Yeah, it's just the mind. The mind plays to be detached and plays. It's just the mind. There are states, you see.
Yeah.
There are states which appear.
Yes.
Don't give extra meaning about it.
Yes.
You will never be eternally detached, nor eternally attached as a person. You know that beautiful story of the yogi? There was a yogi, all his life he lived in a very, very small hut, and there was a little fence because it was in the jungle, just for his vegetables. And he was really detached. But in the end of his life, he didn't know it was the end, though he was a bit old, a cub deer was left alone nearby because the mother was being killed by hunters. So he could not leave it alone. He took it in his little plot and he became extremely attached to the little deer, even so much that when he died, he said, "Oh, who will take care of my deer?" Very relatable things. And of course the story says, he should never, no, he will reincarnate, and so he was not yet a perfect yogi. That is stories. It never happens. Oh, even if it happens, who cares? Ok, something. Et toi, tu veux dire quelque chose? C'est ton dernier satsang?
Non.
Ah, donc.
Non. This is not je peux parler en
Oui.
français.
Ah non, donne-lui. Tu vas la traduire si tu veux bien.
Non, simplement, ce chemin, il n'est pas de tout repos.
Il est abrupt.
It's not a walk in the park, it's not relaxed.
Il est abrupt.
It's very abrupt. Yes.
But you can be knocked out. On peut être assommé une fois pour toutes. Tu n'es pas assommé.
You're not knocked out.
Dis-moi ce qui est surgi, qui a l'air, qui est si important.
What is so important?
Non, c'est... On doit toujours être alerte.
We must be always
Quand même.
vigilant.
Et,
Nevertheless,
même si on a...
Pendant un
Even
temps.
though-
Pendant un temps.
only for a time.
Même si ça surgit, et, c'est comme on est acteur des pensées, etc.
Even though
Même s'il y
it
a pas de
emerges,
pensée,
we are the actors
parce
of
que,
the thoughts.
mental,
Pendant un temps.
But it's
mental,
only
il
for
veut
a
toujours faire
time.
une histoire avec rien, même quand il n'y a rien, il veut faire un,
Even
il veut
when
faire un
there's
gâteau, même
nothing,
si-
the mind wants to make a story out of
même
it.
s'il n'a pas d'ingrédients, il veut faire un gâteau avec.
Even when he has no ingredients, he wants to make a cake with it.
Exactly. See you.